Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk, let's get wrenching.
Beginners and professional car owners are interested in the question of what RPM, high or low, is better to drive at. This topical question most often provokes the challenge of a fierce polemic among motorists who prefer to express their point of view. This article will allow you to familiarize yourself with the main engine revolutions and in the elimination of problems that have arisen in the course of turnover instability. Therefore, we propose to listen carefully to the advice of professionals who will tell you what engine revolutions are acceptable for driving a modern car. The most common problem of modern units is considered unstable idle speed. Consequently, the lack of idling can cause serious trouble on the roads. It becomes almost impossible to drive such a car. In order to avoid accidents, the car owner must take into account several important rules. While the car is moving, the speed of the wheels and engine shaft is always determined. When the engine shaft speed increases, the speed of the car will increase accordingly. Therefore, the shaft speed is determined by dividing the gear ratio of the current gear. Also, do not forget that some cars have an engine speed limiter, which reduces the number of crankshaft revolutions depending on different conditions. When the idling system is started, the power mode occurs. In such a case, it is necessary to pay great attention to the injector and carburetor motor. The automobile carburetor of earlier release has a dependent idle. Thanks to the latest developed design, while driving an auto, drivers should not have unnecessary hassle. But as the cost of oil has increased, global vehicle manufacturers have come out with an autonomous economical idle, which reduces the fuel consumption. Basically, the RPM should not exceed 60. According to specialists, after the introduction of the autonomous idling carburetor, the maintenance of this device has become noticeably more complicated. Since the power system needs driving filters, which are designed to purify fuel. It is worth noting that the absence of filters has a positive effect on the stability of the functioning of the engine. Therefore, the revolutions, on asphalt, should be kept between 2000 to 3000. Previously, on carburetors set the idle speed with a special screw, ajar with the throttle. But at this stage, the installation process has become much more complicated. A separate system with the presence of its own channels and jets are responsible for the process of air supply and fuel dosage. After the installation of the cold running system, the reliability is much reduced. If there is even a single hair or a speck of dust, interruptions may occur. Engine performance will deteriorate and serious problems will arise. If you do not pay attention in time, you can completely stall the engine. The newest carburetors, which have an electric valve cold running, are characterized by economy, durability, reliability, stability and stability. Of revolutions then, can be caused by the most optimal engine speeds that function erratically can be caused by several reasons at once. A malfunction in the mechanics of the damper actuator can adversely affect the performance of the engine RPM. Consequently, the frequency that determines the rotation has an unstable connection. Sometimes, deposits appear on the inner walls of the carburetor in excessive amounts. Accordingly, this can cause a malfunction of the device. In this situation, experts suggest diagnosing the elements of the throttle valve drive. Consequently, it will be necessary to clean the throttle assembly. To check the action of the actuators, you will need an assistant, who will press slowly to a full stop on the gas and the driver at the same time traces the action of the lever. Nominal internal combustion engines operate at full throttle. The flaps should be in the vertical position. When the secondary mechanical chamber is actuated, the damper is opened. The mains, in turn, should return to its original position. When the throttle is persistently depressed, the action of the full travel of the lever is checked. If the lever functions normally, then in the future the full lever travel should be achieved. The innovative product can be applied very easily and simply. It will not even be necessary to disassemble the carburetor to clean the elements. To begin with, you will only have to remove the air filter and spray the product in a small amount. When carrying out the procedure, it is necessary to add gas at the same time. When resetting the revolutions, the motor will choke. After that, an increase in revolutions will occur. Procedures should be carried out at least 3 or 2 times. After all, after this, you will be sure that the throttle is completely flushed. Some experts advise to completely flush the carburetor to bring the device to serviceability. Injector engines with floating revolutions, it should be noted that the throttle unit is often contaminated. After that, unstable functioning of idle speed occurs in the future. The channel is completely clogged with dirt and the bypass channel is blocked. According to professionals, throttle assemblies can be easily disassembled and cleaned, then it does not pose any particular danger to the device. If there is a foreign air inflow, the sensor displays incorrect data. That is, it can lead to the loss or addition of fuel. This misleads the driver. Therefore, a complete cleaning is carried out to equalize the mixture ratio. In this way, the RPM ratio can be regularized. Before the process of normalizing the air supply is carried out, specialists inspect the device. How to start the motor with the use of ether? The unit limiter limits the maximum revolutions of the engine stub shaft. Therefore, to start the engine and bring it to a normal state, it is necessary to use diethyl ether. The combustion rate of ether is quite high. Therefore, if the ratio is used incorrectly, an explosive effect can be caused. To prevent such consequences, specialists use additional components that interact perfectly with ether. If the process is carried out in the winter period, then you should think about the operation of the engine. Many experts recommend using a gasoline, quality engine. In order not to overload your budget with unnecessary costs, it is desirable to think well about all the details and only after that pick up the appropriate car. The recommended item will allow you to move around without spending too much. In conclusion, understanding engine revolutions is crucial for grasping how engines operate and perform. We explored the key characteristics, such as torque, horsepower, and efficiency, and highlighted the unique peculiarities that differentiate various engine types. By recognizing the significance of revolutions per minute, we can better appreciate the engineering behind automotive performance and innovation. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of engine revolutions.